can use it for that for you. Say share, send it to their email address.
Share? How do I do that?
Share. That's a Tim question. On different phones.
But this is the desktop site, I'm not on the mobile
Yeah,
anymore.
well, it's still kind of, you can probably, you'll share a link. You want to talk about sharing a link, so you can share it, email it to them.
Okay, I'm gonna write down their address, David and Royal Palm Beach, you're lucky. You can send them a letter if you like. But-
That's for your advice, we don't know.
Okay, you know what, I need to.
We just
start
want to be
reading.
polite and very,
Okay. I'll give this to you.
sorry, that was from my bottle.
It's all right, I just, I have just one of this one.
Yes.
Oh, it's rolling?
Rolling.
Oh, my goodness, we gotta go then.
Stephanie's on board.
Yeah, but she is as of the December meeting, she is.
Stephanie is? I thought she was on. Oh, I misunderstood. You're right.
All right, we call the meeting order. Would everybody please rise for pledge of allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Did Dr. Kelly say the pledge? Liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Trish Watkins,
Harry Williams. Mike Watkins.
Tim Sayre.
Small audience. Oh. I'm hoping that in the following year, the members you see on the board stay on the board, and I hope we get a couple more. We're going to try to get some more people on the board. If you know anybody that would like to join the Acres Landowners and be on the board, we'd be more than entertained to talk to people, so let us know. Once again, if you have any things that we need to know about or can help you solve, we'd appreciate you letting us know. Some things it's hard to get results on. Like Leo keeps wanting to get a road paved here and there. But it's mainly all we can do is keep trying to help him on something like that. But we do try. I hope each and every one of you come out to the next Music Fest. We're still shooting for March 20th?
March 5th.
5th. I'm sorry, I said the 20th. March 5th. If it's for me, I'm not here.
Sorry.
I didn't even turn mine off. All right.
Sorry for that.
Other than that, I can say it's been a year.
Okay,
Learned a lot, enjoyed a lot. Not so sure I'd want to do it all again, though. That's all my
It's easier
remarks.
the second time.
Let's see. I wonder if I should leave that to Lily. Are we going to make an announcement about the last,
approval of minutes.
no, about our last green market? Okay. All right, so in the president's remarks, and we'll go to additions and deletions.
know of any.
None. All right. Approval of the minutes for the October meeting.
Move to approve.
Tim approved. member is no longer on the board.
And we'd like to let you know what happened so that you're aware of what's going on. He refused to work the October Music Fest, and he was notified that if he continued to refuse, that he'd be removed from the board. He was drunk and disorderly at our June Music Fest. He failed to help put together the cruise in for the June Music Fest. He mishandled a trailer purchase that the ALA had. It took us a lot of work to get that worked out. He never followed through and refused to do the bylaws using the proper protocols as outlined by the bylaws. He refused to come early to the meetings to meet with people that do show up. And there was a few other items that went along with that. So the board voted and that he should be removed from the board. It was a unanimous vote of the board that he be removed as the vice president of the board. I'm now making a motion that he be removed from the board.
Second.
So we need to call for a vote.
All right.
This is a big membership.
I'm gonna say we're gonna vote, the whole membership is here, right?
Yep,
Whoever's here.
whoever's here. We have Bill, we have Mike Rizzo. I know that they're paid members.
Leo?
Leo's
Leo.
paid member.
So we're good to vote then.
All right, we're gonna take a vote on removing Mr. Mike Moore as vice president, or from the board.
From the board.
Director?
Make a motion. that you
Leo.
vote on that, and you go ahead and have your election and not remove him from the board the same meeting. If he's not reelected, he's not on the board.
No, sir, I've made a motion to have him removed. There has to be a vote now because it was seconded.
Has to be voted on. So, is there anybody opposed to having Mike Moore removed from the board? So I guess it would be simply put that it's unanimous vote, Mike Moore gets removed from the board.
We're going on to number 8 now. Terry asked me to read in a nomination for the ALA Board of Directors. She couldn't make it tonight. The slate will be Lillian Hall, Mike Rizzo, who's in the audience, myself, Mike Watkins, Trish Watkins, and Perry Williams are the nominations to be for the Board of Directors, and we'll be voting as a slate.
Are there any others?
Is there any other nominations or?
Leo, what do you think?
I've asked, he keeps telling me no.
Come on, Leo.
I can't even get stuff done around my house. I think the board runs slow now. The
I
little
pulled
bit
in the
that I
lock
do
and I
donate
said, good old Leo.
and
Leo
work
wants
with
to-
y'all, but no, I can't really take the time.
Understood, but if you change your mind, please approach us, okay? We have to take the vote.
Those are nominations.
Hmm?
The nominations.
Yeah,
I read them. You want to read them again?
No, they're red. I said you need to
Close.
close the
Oh,
nominations.
yes, I am closing the nominations then, sorry.
all
I
right.
thought someone else was talking.
Number 9, election of the board.
Okay. Approving the slate.
I'm in favor of approving the slate.
Anybody-
That's
Anybody
fine.
in the audience?
Is there anybody in the audience that would like to have somebody that is on the board removed from the board?
Any changes?
Oh, okay. So I guess we're good. I can't remember how the bylaws said to do that.
I think we just hold an election, we all say the yea or nay.
Yeah.
You count for the yeas and the nays.
All those in favor?
In favor?
All in favor?
Favor? Yeah,
You get to
You're
vote
voting
too.
fine.
too?
that's fine.
So it's unanimous.
So, question.
Opposed?
Trish is just a board member at large?
Trish is a director. Trish is not an officer.
Which is what Leo could be.
No, I'm more of an antagonist, I guess.
All right, so put it down as approved.
For the slate of officers.
Yeah.
This is the officers.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so for the officers, yeah. We'll make a motion to have the officers as Lillian as president, vice president Tim, Mike Rizzo as secretary, Mike Watkins continuing as treasurer, and Perry Williams as sergeant at arms. Anybody want to second that?
I'll second.
Okay.
All in favor?
There.
Okay.
Public input.
Public input. We're open for anybody who has anything to say. Anybody has any public input?
Hey, can I move out of this chair now?
Not
You gotta sit here all night?
until January.
Well, I'm happy to see that one of our residents having a concern came here tonight to express it, to ask for our help, and I'll do whatever I can to help you out with that,
Can you
get you
tell-
the information you need.
Can you tell us what it is, because we didn't?
A possible code compliance issue
Okay.
on their street. So, and they mentioned that they didn't know how to find out, it's a vacant lot. They mentioned that they didn't know how to find out who owned that lot.
Oh, okay,
Okay, so we went through HAPA to find out who the owner is.
great.
I explained that they've got the option to approach the owner directly, whether send them a letter or whatever, but I also suggested that they contact code compliance,
Right.
have an officer come out and take a look at it. They do have photos. You know, the most code compliance is going to do at this point is maybe send them some kind of notice.
Correct.
Whether or not any action is really taken, maybe, maybe not, until, maybe not for a while, until it gets to the point where they're going to be fined or something,
What is the code violation?
you know. It's regarding
Rubbish.
overgrowth, number one, rubbish, tires, possible environmental hazards.
It's plastic in there, there's a bag.
Plastic, garbage, tires.
Yeah. But I mean, they're constantly having to trim
Right.
the other owner's vegetation because it's ruining, it's knocking down their fence.
Mhm.
And they've
That's a common.
made the effort and the expense to continually maintain that,
Right.
and that's not fair. So we'll see if we can get somebody to take a look at that.
I appreciate your help.
At our library, they have a little book, and every phone number for anybody who's anybody in Palm Beach County is in that book, and it gives you a list of all the different departments and their phone numbers.
Right.
So if you can pick up that little pamphlet, keep it at your house, it's great. They renew it every year. I've never seen Mr. Combs' phone number in there, though. I've often wondered why.
Yeah, it's actually, it's more than a
I'm working on
pamphlet.
it.
But I can look up,
Someplace-
I can look up the telephone number for code compliance if you'd like it tonight.
I
But
appreciate
it
it
would
very
be a
much.
good idea to pick up that booklet that Perry's talking about.
I appreciate your advice. Thank you very much.
Those trees that are pushing your fence over, are they Florida hollies, Brazilian peppers?
We're not sure. We got every kind of tree, limb, vine, anything possible there is.
Looking at the photos, it looks like it might be, because it's.
My wife
it's
can
a
show you the
lot of
photos
brush.
right now.
I should.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll get with you after the meeting.
We have a very beautiful neighborhood. Everybody keeps their lawns up nice. It's detailed. It's just the one lot. We don't want to complain or anything like that. It's just so nice. The tires, the garbage, the bottles.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
completely uncalled for.
yeah.
You ready?
Well, what I'm thinking, I'll let everybody know, is a lot of times I'll just spend some of my time, like go over and clean up stuff like that, just to help the neighborhoods or help our area. And I was wondering if there was a house on each side of it to where all we have to do is get some inexpensive material and put a fence up across the front, so once it got cleaned up, nobody could get in there and dump anymore.
You saw the property line.
Yeah, yeah.
Is there a house on each side of it?
I didn't see what was on the other side. Is there?
It's two
no.
it's two 1.25 acre lots on our other side.
No, there's no.
Oh, so
It's
there isn't
completely
another
vacant.
house there. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
All right.
As far as the tires go, I believe you call ITID too, since they're considered hazardous waste, and I think they'll get involved right away
Oh,
with
would
it
they?
too. Because I know they've dealt with it before on other lots,
Yeah,
right?
it's,
Well, it's worth a phone call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
tires breed mosquitoes. Mosquitoes are bad health-wise, so the health department gets involved. And
I know ITID will, if they can't help, they give you the right phone numbers on the tires, and as soon as the tires hit, then it just gets all involved with everybody.
Yeah, thank you.
So there's multiple people you can call.
Thank you.
all right. Public input. Leo?
They're required to keep it 25 feet back. Growing vegetation, invasive species. The developed lot, they're not required to. You can let yours grow onto theirs. It's 25 feet up to the building code requirements.
Leo's having his own meeting. Is there anybody else that'd like to bring anything up to the board? You don't like the tea, you don't like the cookies, you don't like the hours?
I just have a question. I just have a question. How do you find out whether you're a member of the association? We've been coming, my husband is not here tonight, but we've been coming. We just moved here in June from Virginia. But we've been here off and on through the years.
Oh, okay.
So, I get the email when there's a meeting, so I don't know. So how do we find out, or how do we join?
On our website, there's should be a link in the letter to the website. If not, if you give me your email address, you can go to our website, acreagelandowners.com, and there's a form on there to join. It's $20 a year. It's a recurring
Well,
payment.
I paid that
When may I ask when?
every year. I get a notice saying that it's due, and I send it in.
What? If you give me your name and your email address, we can look through it, and I can let you know when it's due again.
Yeah, so I guess to answer your question, yes, apparently it sounds as though, yes, you are a current member. It certainly sounds that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're always welcome to come. You don't need to be a member in order to attend meetings and
Right.
any of our functions.
Right, tell your neighbors, anybody else, they don't necessarily have to join if they want to come to a meeting.
Okay.
That's fine.
Or even get our newsletter.
Yeah, as a matter of fact. That might be one, okay. That's one not to miss.
Music Fest.
All right, number 13, Music Fest.
Like what?
The Music Fest is going to be March 5th, and we're having the chili cook-off along with it. We always need more sponsors. Anybody has any idea for sponsors? And we need volunteers also. And the tentatively going to be called Loxapalooza.
What?
Absolutely.
One of these
The
days.
Chili Fest music.
There you go.
Notable meeting information.
Oh,
No, wait, I missed, no,
No,
okay.
you're good.
Notable meeting.
The October 15th, there was the Palm Beach Metropolitan Planning Organization meeting. The Department of Transportation officials presented their new 5-year working program for the county. A special new proposal for the State Road 7 extension, which was again opposed by West Palm Beach and a lot of their representatives. But after very heated discussions, the planning board voted to keep State Road 7 on the fast track, and they approved starting it with permits permitting in 2017 instead of it being knocked back to the 2019. So we'll see how the permits go, but as of now, they're fast tracking it the way I think it should be.
Do you know if at that meeting, they also brought up the Roebuck Road extension that's supposed to come?
I did not hear that
They-
discussed, and it wasn't on the agenda.
Now, one person mentioned it, but they didn't say whether it was gonna be done or not, and what the dates were, or any of that. They just mentioned that it had been proposed to be extended.
But I think that's going to be discussed at the meeting on Thursday.
I think
That's
so.
one of the ones that they will be
Yeah.
talking about. And so, Perry, you want to talk about the FPL meeting?
Waxahachie, or the Acreage had a meeting with FP&L and trying to keep it positive on my part. I was impressed with the amount of people that came out with and for FP&L to address some of the area residents' concerns. I'm not sure too many of us walked away with a positive outlook as to why we are having so many power shortages, flickers, brownouts, whatever you want to call them. But I did learn there's a lot of people out here that have different things happening to their electricity. And it sounds like for quite a few different reasons. They are trying, sounds like we are a testing ground for FP&L. They are trying new switchgear out. And they admitted they are learning how to program it. So a lot of our quick power downs and power ups are because of the new switches they are putting in. I'm trying to stay positive. I'm not. What else can we bring out of the meeting?
Well, they did take a list of people that had concerns, and they personally were in contact with the people that were at the meetings, that gave them their name and information so they could contact them.
Right.
And I've seen some reports that there's a lot more vegetation trucks that are now cutting trees.
Yeah.
I see that
Yeah.
being posted now too.
So it really behooves people to attend these meetings, because the ones that are physically there are gonna get that little bit more attention in their case. You know, so it was disappointing that people who had issues didn't come to the meeting, and they hope that things are gonna improve. Instead of being more active in
They did
making them improve.
Yeah. They did admit that new smart meters that everybody's getting throughout the state of Florida, Florida Power & Light wasn't quite as smart as a meter, because it turns out the meters will tell them that there was a power shortage or a brown down, and it will also let them know, if they read the meter right, the signal it's sending to them, that it's going to have a power down. So they are trying to learn how to understand the smart meters and prevent some power downs. Just new technologies out with the smart meters, and they put them out and don't fully understand it yet, according to FP&L. So hopefully it'll all get corrected, because there are a lot of people that are having so many power downs, their light bills going up instead of going down. But it was a good meeting, nice turnout. There was, I don't know, 30 people showed up for the meeting, so it was a nice turnout. And everybody got to air their complaints and had somebody to talk to, so it was a good meeting. I hope we have another one if things don't get corrected.
May I ask a question?
We're in 6 months
Sure.
going to.
Is there any alternative out here besides FPL? Or that's it?
No?
Generators.
No.
No, besides generators?
You gotta run them out here a lot.
Yeah, no, I know, but there's nothing else, huh?
And FP&L, since it's a public service,
Yes.
it's run by the Public Service Commission, they have a monopoly
Yeah.
on what is presented out here.
Could you
And-
use anyone other than PSE&G?
Well, you had it, well, it was,
no.
LIPA,
Yeah.
same thing, but you had a choice, you can go gas if you wanted to, and use a totally different company to do, what you were doing, but, yeah, that's.
In theory, there was a proposal in Tallahassee that you could buy your electric from anybody you wanted to in the United States, but you're still using FP&L's equipment to be delivered to your house.
Right.
So if it's their switch, and you're having a problem with the switch, just because the power came from Georgia, you're still gonna have the
Right.
problems.
I got you. Okay, thanks.
I will say, after 5 years ago, the hurricanes, I got to where I appreciated Florida Power & Light, because the amount of money it costs you for gas and oil changes in your generators, you realize that that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
They are cheap.
It really is. When you try to run your house off one or two generators, the amount of fuel you burn is about a gallon an hour at least.
Yeah.
Well, this is the
gas
sunshine
is
state,
cheaper
I
now.
think we should be looking at solar.
Yeah, solar should be
To
the way to
go
go.
totally solar on a house right now, you're looking at 89,000 plus
Right.
on about a small 3-bedroom house.
There's no incentives? The state doesn't give incentives?
I think they ran out sometime last year or the middle of this year.
See, from previous experience, they would pay for it and then, you'd pay them back.
Right,
And it would end up costing you like maybe 25,000 to do a whole house.
right.
But they give you 10 years to get it back.
right.
Yeah, it's different. Is it also true that you can't have wind turbines down here? Did they outlaw that?
I
That's
just
what I was
heard,
told.
I just heard that that was done, but I don't have any knowledge whether that's true or not.
Now, wind turbines would even mean a little 4-inch turbine you put on the top roof of your house.
Right.
I'm not sure anybody, the big wind turbine generators that are 300 foot tall and better, each blade is 200 foot, and you have to be another 200 foot off the ground. That would be because we get the code violations with the airport and everything else out
Right.
there. So we're sort of in a bad spot if you want to do a real big wind turbine generator. But there are companies that are putting out smaller wind turbine generators to charge up batteries and stuff. So there are alternatives if you want to look into them.
Yeah, there's a
But
lot.
there's
Just
not
to
enough
supplement.
breeze in South Florida
To run it?
justify it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've had a couple breezy days.
But it's not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just not enough to keep spinning.
Of course, there's the battery that Elon Musk came out with.
Tesla has that new
Yeah, that's
battery.
Elon Musk.
Yeah.
It'll run your house 3 to 4 days.
Yep.
And the solar, if you put solar to it, it'll power it and keep it charged all the time. And in theory, you can disconnect from the grid.
Yep.
Is geothermal practical down here?
No, I've never seen anybody do it down here except for air conditioning, where they
Unless
pump the
you
water
plug
to keep
into
the air
the
conditioning.
FPNL plant where you're discharging the hot water.
The one thing I didn't realize, I was really looking hard at going off grid in my house, is that everybody went off grid, all the residents. Who pays to put the poles in to get power to like your schools and everything else? So there's, along with your light bill, you gotta remember that it does put poles in for street lights and everything else. And for years, it never clicked in my head. That's like if we got rid of gasoline altogether and went to an alternative fuel, well, we don't have the gas taxes to fix the bridges and the roads, so how are we gonna drive around? Where's the money gonna come from?
Right. It's catch-22.
Yeah, it's a catch-22, and there's a big picture out there, and a lot of times, I know I just don't see it.
Right.
I keep looking at how do I help me and my neighbors and not the entire state.
Right.
It's, yeah, a lot of things to look at.
Yeah.
Hopefully, batteries will keep improving, and they are, and then we can at least supplement what we do to our house. I can't tell you officially as a board person what the next generation of light bulb is, but I hear it's going to be laser light bulbs, and they're just not sure yet whether they're going to be more efficient than the LEDs. But the LEDs are coming down in price. Home Depot, you can get 6 of the 60-watt equivalents right now, and it's only like $18.
Yeah.
It, all year long, burn a light bulb for 30 cents.
Yep.
So just keep upgrading your house with your appliances and all as much as possible, and it helps. And I'm hoping in January my light bill will be less than $100, and I keep shooting for that goal, and we keep trying to improve our household, and then it's not so bad. If you're only $100 a month or less,
It's negligible.
yeah, you can't it's hard to buy a wind turbine or solar power stuff, and you're only spending $1,200 a year on electricity.
You're right, right.
You are camping out.
I just spend a lot of time at Lieutenant Combs' house. I use his electricity.
Also, we could kind of end up generating our own electricity out here if we incorporate it.
We're getting to that, Leo. It's farther down on the list. November 11th. Trish, you want to talk about that meeting? The planning?
Yeah, the Palm Beach County Planning Commission presentation about the roads and traffic studies and, you know, what's coming and what's coming all at once and how we're going to handle it. So that would be an important one, if anybody can make that. I don't even know, is that down?
That was the one that we attended.
It already happened.
That was the one at the school.
George Webb, that's the one that at Seminole.
Oh, at the school,
Instead of
okay, yeah.
You want to tell them what they said?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't remember. There is something that came out of that meeting that we didn't know about. Apparently, there's another developer on the horizon, IOTA.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, wasn't that kind of
It's
in that
between.
area
It's-
where GL is gonna be?
It's the piece in between where GL Homes owns that big piece and that little piece down here. It's the little piece in between. Yeah, they own all of that property.
Yeah. And, you know, so they were talking about, you know, the widening that's gonna be happening and the north-south access, the east-west access. It just doesn't seem like, I mean, unless we start tomorrow, it just doesn't seem like we're well prepared and that we're going to be prepared enough when all that happens. So it's quite urgent.
You mean infrastructure-wise?
Right.
Well, yeah, and the roads, you know, we tend not to be as proactive as we need to be. You know, we'll widen a road 2 years after
It needs to.
it was really needed to be done. Some of this stuff, in my opinion, needs to be started now in preparation because we're already, you know, the need is somewhat there. Let's not wait until,
We get jammed up.
yeah.
I think George Webb was very informational. I mean, he really taught us a lot about what's going on with these roads. Tallahassee, there used to be a law about concurrency, and he was explaining that the developers had to improve the roads according to their traffic studies before they could put the shovels in the ground
Right.
to start their construction.
Right.
And Tallahassee changed that to prop share, which is proportionate share, which means that after the traffic study is done and it's determined how much the road would need to be widened, all they need to do is write a check for the amount that it would cost for that improvement. Let's say it costs $4 million to improve a road. And it's determined that they would increase the traffic 25%. They write a check for $1 million and they can start building. And if the county can't come up with the other $3 million, the road does not get improved. But those people are going to be there because they no longer have to wait until the road is approved and they don't have to pay the brunt of it.
They've paid their share, they've met their obligation, and they go ahead and start doing what they're gonna do.
And that's a state law, so the county has nothing to say about it. The state is really trying to encourage people to move to Florida. And they're really encouraging the developers. And it's turned around from, you know, what the developers have to do as their responsibility before they start to build. And it's all falling on the residents that are here right now having to deal with it. Mr. Webb, who's the county engineer, was telling us that because of Minto and if GL Homes gets their amount that they're requesting, that that they would need to build North Lake out to 12 lanes. That's bigger than 95 and the
Yeah,
Turnpike
that's-
combined. They would build 12 lanes, except for the fact that they can't build 12 lanes
Yes,
there.
yeah.
They can only build 10 lanes because of the railroad. Railroad won't let them expand anymore. So we'll already be 2 lanes down from what it would be desired for that many cars. And IOTA hasn't even put in theirs yet, and they are on the horizon.
Which brings me back to Roebuck Road. If there's another east-west access that will help North Lake, that's not gonna solve it. I think we need more than just Roebuck.
Yeah, they implied that West Palm Beach would be fighting that because it goes by their water preserve, and they will be fighting that tooth and nail.
Oh, they've been fighting it.
Yeah.
From what I understand, the agreement, just like with Ibis, the agreement was before Andros Isle and Riverwalk and all that was built, that there was going to be a road back there.
That was
And
a
they-
condition of approval.
They
for
built
this
that
development.
knowing that that was gonna happen, and then afterwards, then there was all this, and continues to be opposition. But, so, I don't know.
And Mike was saying that tonight, Palm Beach Gardens is meeting to approve Avenir,
Yes.
which will add a lot of traffic to east of North Lake, the eastern part of it. So we have concerns, and we need to be attending the commissioners' meetings and letting them know, because George Webb did give us a glimmer of hope. He said that this could be denied based on the fact that our roads are failing,
That we're not-
and there's not going to be a way to fix that, that the commissioners could deny it. On the other hand, Geo Holmes has been very cagey with wanting to go the route of Ag Enclave. And according to Commissioner McKinley, she said that they did have the votes last time in the last legislative session, but decided to hold off and see if they could work some sort of agreement before they went that route. But I understand that they've just postponed their transmittal meeting with the county commissioners in January, which is a little troubling. They pulled their plan. So, and they changed their plan right before that meeting, and now they've pulled the plan. And I don't know whether they're waiting for the next legislative session to go ahead with the votes that they have and do the Ag Enclave, because that will allow them more traffic than if they just stay the way they are with their present plan.
But by delaying, if Avenir does their traffic study first, isn't that hurting them?
Yes.
Well, see, the thing is, they wouldn't be transmitting until January anyway. And Mike is saying the approval meeting is tonight for Avenir, so,
Okay.
you know, it's not going to really affect them by 1 month.
And Palm Beach Gardens only, they still have a lot of other permit process to go through for Avenir.
Yeah, yeah.
But they are ahead in the process right now.
Yeah.
They're ahead of them and then IOTA finishes. So what we need to do is, you know, be aware of these and come out and make our voices known in these meetings.
Buy a helicopter.
It's tough to influence the county commissioners because they're broken up throughout the county and we can't elect them in or out. We can just do our district. Which brings us to our next meeting. Our next meeting, Vice Mayor of Loxahatchee Groves has agreed to come and speak to us about incorporation. They had gone through the process and he had been opposed to it. And he's going to come and speak to us about the concerns he had about incorporation, and now that it's through and he sees the benefits for it, he's willing to help us through the process if the acreage wants it. So we're going to hold our meeting January 12th with Vice Mayor Ron Jarrell. He also said that he would bring some people from the committee who pushed it through. He was on the other side and he voted against it, but you know, he wants to tell a story about the concerns that he had and he also wants to bring some people to help us understand what the process would involve if we decided to do it. And I'm hoping that we can get some people who will volunteer to have notices on their property. Because how do we get information spread throughout the acreage? People are on the roads going to and from work, and if we could get some signs on there notifying them of this meeting, have them come out, whether they're for it, against it, just voice your concern, and let's talk together and see what we can do.
At this point, it's informational.
Right.
You know, there's so much that people don't know. Advantages, disadvantages, questions that can be answered by Ron Jarrell.
And members of that committee.
Yeah.
And so if you know anybody on North Lake, Seminole, Pratt, Orange, any of the big ones that get a lot of the traffic back and forth, that's how we're going to get the information of this meeting out to the general public of the acreage. So we're hoping we can put our
Pushing
thinking
on that
caps on.
signage.
Know anybody and we'll try to get some signs up in the near future telling them about our website and to go there for more information, but putting this date on the thing, and hopefully we can get a big crowd and get some movement towards incorporation, because it's going to happen. I mean, people can't vote against incorporation and think that we won't be part of it. Minto has the ability to incorporate. Their structure was amended even before they bought the property, changing it. They no longer have to have 5,000 people before they can start incorporating. And they no longer cannot incorporate if they're adjacent to an incorporated city. Okay, those are the two main things that had been stopping them, because they're adjacent to Loxahatchee Groves, which is incorporated. But those restrictions were taken away several months before Minto bought the property. So they can incorporate and absorb us. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. We might not have a choice of, do we want to stay incorporated or not? It's like, do we want to be absorbed by Minto, or do we want to incorporate into our own town? These are things that we have to look at, and I think if we wait too much longer, it's going to be out of our hands. It's just going to be done.
It's more for our protection, in our opinion, self-preservation,
Home rule.
home rule.
You know, instead of having the county commissioners decide what's going to happen with GL homes, just like Palm Beach County took their time, Palm Beach Gardens really took their time with Avenir. We could be having the decision about what's going to happen with GL homes in Iota. As it stands now, it's the county commissioners.
Yeah, we're at their mercy right now.
So, you know, I think we need to start having these discussions, and it's going to start in January. So if you know anybody, please get the word out, come see what we can do.
The acreage has 100 plus more acres in the city of West Palm Beach, and if all the builders get what they want, we will also have a bigger population in the city of West Palm Beach, which means we'll have to have Lieutenant Combs move to the acreage and get on the board.
They can be on the board.
Wait, if you move to Loxahatchee,
I still can't be on the board.
No,
well, you're gonna retire in 30 years.
Retire, yeah, I'm in.
I'm retired and I'm
Yeah, I'm in. I'll get him to come with me, it'll be fine.
That's really weird to think about. That little old acreage has more property than the city of West Palm Beach, and we could have a bigger population than the city of West Palm Beach, and with that comes all the headaches for the police department, fire department, and everybody else.
Oh, more than you know.
And one FYI about the GL Homes was that 28 days before the meeting they were supposed to have with the commissioners for their transmittal, they let it be known that not only did they, after they told us they wouldn't have any more than one house per 1 1/4 acres, they asked for townhomes when they updated or pulled back and put the new plan in, and now they're asking for townhomes out there. Now they've withdrawn, trying to get approval right now, but that doesn't mean that they still won't be trying to get townhomes out here in our area right here off 180.
That wasn't in the presentation that they gave to us.
No, it wasn't in our presentation. They actually sprung that the day before the meeting that the county had with us at the high school. They didn't find out about it until that afternoon before the meeting. And then they let us know that it had all been changed and they were asking for 400 townhouses.
If GL Home does build and does get permission to put a access point out to the Beeline Highway, it may turn out that Seminole Pratt Whitney Road will be a super highway going right through the center of our community. But if we're incorporated, we can have a little bit to say with that, especially around on the speed limits. Which may, go ahead.
And the widening of the road.
And the widening of the road.
Because Loxahatchee Groves Incorporated, Westlake wanted to have that road widened, and Loxahatchee Groves refused to allow it.
Right.
And they voted it that they couldn't widen it, and that's how they're going to keep traffic down on that road, by not letting them widen it, and hope that they do Southern and North Lake and don't use Okeechobee because it'll be too crowded.
That's why Okeechobee's one lane either way.
That's
how they
why,
kept it
because
that
they
way.
vote, Loxahatchee Groves, where you see it start, goes from 4 lanes to 2, that's the beginning of Loxahatchee Groves. Westlake offered to pay to widen that road. Loxahatchee Groves said, nope, we are not widening that road,
Self-rule. They have the ability now to say no. We don't.
because they're incorporated.
Right.
What has stopped this community from being incorporated?
Diversity.
Well, there was a vote.
You have about 10 hours?
Well, back then, it was sold to the community that incorporating meant turning it into a city,
Okay.
okay? And they wanted to keep it rural. Now, we're trying to frame the discussion that it's home rule and we're doing it for our protection. So that the people who are making the decisions have to live here, will be elected by us, unlike the county commissioners, and we would have more say about what's going on in the
It's not about making changes.
It's about
Um,
preserving.
It's about keeping it the way it is.
Loxahatchee Groves didn't change. It's as rural as ever. It's just they've got the structure. So,
We have to get that information out to the public, because otherwise they're thinking, oh, you're turning into a city. And it's just the opposite. We're trying to keep from turning into a
Right.
city by allowing GL Homes to get 4,000 homes instead of 500. But unless we can get that information out, it's going to be the old discussion of, oh, we're turning into a city. But how do you get that out to 40,000 people here? You know, not on the radio, a lot of people aren't on the
Social
Facebook
media,
and everything. So road signs, that's where people go in and out of the community, is what we've decided to try to do.
Yes, Leah.
What is the
How much do
timeline?
we have in the treasure?
It's expensive, but,
Some banners.
oh,
yeah, I was gonna say, we're gonna need, I mean, we only have, if we're gonna get signs out, yes, we can find people who will be willing to have us put signs, but we need to get them made and
Right, and the other thing is this
The
meeting,
banner's pretty cheap.
banners, yeah.
And Hendrix.
and this meeting's more of an informational, we're hoping pro people show up and con people so that we can find out all the questions that everybody has. It's not gonna be, oh, this is the only meeting. Once,
Right.
and I'm hoping that once people start hearing that we're holding meetings about incorporation, we
Right.
get the naysayers and the yaysayers in here, and hopefully we get everybody together. We can answer all the questions with true, honest answers and not the made-up stuff that people, tend to speculate. Oh, that means that they're gonna put up a 60-foot tower over here and, just get the truth out there, and then people can make up their minds about what the actual facts of incorporation are.
That's why Ron Jarrell's presence is so valuable, because he fought tooth and nail. He did not want it. Okay, he lost. Now he sees, wow, doing this worked out pretty well. Doing this way worked out pretty well. Gee, I was wrong. Maybe we can learn, from what they did. Some of the mistakes they may have made, what not to do. So,
And the committee who was successful will be willing to discuss with us what steps we need to take. And they're so similar to us in that, they had a problem getting the information out because they're all spread out too. It's very rural. The cost won't be that much different than it was before. So they're very kindly extending their information to us to help us with this process. I do expect that Minto will be fighting it because Minto's going to want to incorporate. They don't want to have to go out to the commissioners for all of their zoning. They want to be able to decide their own zoning.
How about pamphlets? Not pamphlets, but
Flyers.
flyers, yeah, and
Some
going
kind
to the supermarkets and just handing them out. Be a part of the community, come out, this is what we're doing on
That's,
this
that's,
date.
that's manpower.
That's manpower.
I mean, I could give a Saturday here or
Sure,
something
sure.
like that. you know.
See, and that's what we want from this meeting. We're hoping a lot of people will turn out. We can brainstorm, we can get a lot of volunteers who would be willing to do that from this informational meeting. But what we need to do between December and January is get the information out about that
That
meeting.
meeting.
And that's where the banners come.
Next month, January.
Next
Yeah.
January 12th. We're gonna have
January
the first-
We need to get as many bodies in that meeting as we can, just to let people know that this is something we're gonna start talking about.
Right. Maybe
There's
we
gonna
can-
be a discussion beginning.
Maybe somebody can get in touch with one of the news stations.
Right, we're gonna contact the town crier and the Palm Beach Post. They've done stuff for us before. We're gonna
Doesn't
see
one-
if they're willing to write an article on it.
Doesn't
So
one of the
that's
reporters live out here in the acreage on 25? I think one of the reporters lives out
Yeah, I
here.
don't know the answer to that.
Yeah.
Actually, a reporter called me earlier this week, or was it last week, about the commissioners meeting and the budget meeting. And then he wrote a nice article about getting more of the fire rescue and the three-man thing. And at that time, I told him about the January 12th meeting. He said he didn't think he could make it to the meeting, but he wants us to keep him in the loop and to call him and give him information. So I'm hoping I'll be able to call him, and he'll be putting in an article before it to notify people about that meeting. He seemed very interested in that.
This isn't
And
the
also
same.
PBSO.
This
I
isn't-
told him that we weren't going away and that we were going to start squeaking more about getting the representation proportionately that the rest of Palm Beach County has.
Is that the same gentleman who was at the FPL meeting?
No,
Oh, okay.
well, no, because that's a TV, this was the Palm Beach
Oh, that
Post.
was the poster.
And then that brings us to
I
Thursday's
think you
meeting.
had a question there?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I was just wondering, are you saying that everyone who lives in the acreage should be a part of this meeting? Is that what you're saying?
The one in January, because
I mean, this association, is it for everyone that lives in the acreage?
Yes.
Yes, if they choose to participate.
And this is all that you have with all the people that lives in the acreage?
well, unless people
It's
have
pretty
a problem,
empty,
they find other things to do with their times, you know? I mean, if they were angry about something, they would be turning out. But right now, I guess they're not angry about issues, so they're not turning out.
And,
They don't know about it. If they're not here, they probably don't know about it.
well,
Many
That's
don't,
right.
some
They don't know
don't,
about
some
it.
don't.
Yeah, Christmas shop.
I sent out a newsletter to, this time for this meeting, to over 400 individual email addresses. Out of that, over 100 of them were opened. So over 100 people knew about this meeting. The other thing I'll say is that, like she said, if there's not a burning issue, they don't come in. The other thing is that we have a phone number listed on our website, and I receive phone calls, a lot of phone calls. And they'll ask me questions from how to get the road paved, which I direct right here to ITID, give them the number. Who can remove the bees that are in the yard, I give them the number. Who to call about FB&L, I give them the number. And they found a lost pet, Acreage lost and found pets thing, the ACC, the people to contact out here. So there are people that ask questions, and we try to answer all the questions and help them out with the different things. It's just that unless there's a burning issue, you don't see a ton of people coming out to a meeting.
Well, even when there is a burning issue, we had a lot of people upset about the power issues they were having with FP&L. Put a meeting together, 30 showed up. So, you know, even some of the people who were having issues, they had the opportunity to come to speak with an FP&L rep. And afterwards, some of the comments we got, you know, had to do with the fact that, well, you know, I work full-time. By the time I get home from work, it's hard to make these meetings in the evening. My, you know, the kids' homework and this, that, yeah, it's,
This Thursday, Commissioner McKinley is having a meeting at the Loxahatchee Groves Town Hall. It's on F Road and Southern,
Right.
and it's about the construction, the developments, and also the roads. State Road 7 and Roebuck and some of the others. So it's from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock. And, you know, those are the meetings that we need to come out and make ourselves heard. She is very available. She's on Facebook. Acreage Speaks. When there's something that comes up and there's an issue, she jumps right in and she talks about it. And we kept talking about the third man on the fire rescue, the emergency vehicle. And she finally said, and there was one person after another talking, and they were firefighters. And she said, I hear you. The acreage is no longer the stepchild of Palm Beach County, and I will be working on it. So, you know, we need to make our voices heard, that we're going to be talking about these issues. And the way to do it is, if nobody from the acreage shows up at this meeting, it tells her, we don't really care. You know, so we need to find the time to come to these meetings.
I know the thing, I don't know if you can do it, but in the schools, could we give flyers to the kids to give to their parents? Is that legal to do, or?
We had talked about that before. The school does not want to get involved in politics, okay? Plus, they don't send flyers home anymore because the kids throw them away. It's now done digitally. They have the email addresses of all the parents and they send the information out that way. But I had talked to one of the schools and they just backed away entirely and said, you know, we can't get involved in politics. This to me was not politics, this was an
Informational.
issue that needs to be, you know, I said, how about at least if you just notify the nights of the meetings? You know,
Right.
you don't even have to put the agenda.
Right.
And they just backed away from it and said, no, we don't do that. Because that was a really good resource in New Jersey when I was a teacher. I mean, we got all kinds of information. It's very rural, like here. And that's how we were able to reach the people.
How about the library?
Hmm?
How about the library? We ask them to hand stuff out when people come in, or?
They will post flyers or,
They'll post a flyer.
yeah.
No, that's useless.
We couldn't, other than posting a flyer of the Music Fest, I was hoping to have a stack of them that where people would take them. They wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
They posted one on their bulletin board, that was it.
Okay.
The Publix in Seminole Pratt will allow you to put up on the board, but they take it down every Tuesday. So you'd have to keep putting it up on Wednesday. But the one on North Lake won't even post.
Yeah, they, you
I don't
can't
even know if
post
they
anything.
have one.
They don't
That's
have
why
that.
it's Palm Beach, they don't want us
So
to post
it's
there.
really difficult to get information
Yeah,
to the population here.
that's bad.
So, you know, that's why we were thinking banners on the roads, because people were going back and forth every day to work and they see them.
Yeah.
I can approach the gentleman at North Lake and Greatview.
That would be great. Especially the stop sign, I mean the red lights.
Yeah,
You know,
there's-
catch it at the red lights. So if you know anybody who lives, you know, Orange, anywhere along there, or North Lake, the extension, any of the places, we really need to get this moving soon.
Well, we didn't need just somebody to put it up? Yeah, just give me one. I live out there, so I'll do it.
The only reason I found out about the acreage ALA here, I was online looking up the acreage, just research, and find the LAA. But I sent in a check to become a member of it. That's the only reason I found it.
Yeah.
It was just common sense. That was
Yeah.
simple.
Well, we have people who are willing to actually go out and put them up. What we need to find at this point is people who are willing to allow us to put it on their property.
Okay.
You know, Mr. Smith, can we put this on your fence? You know,
Right.
Well-
North Lake is a county road, we can't put it up on that easement.
What about the intersection of Seminole and North Lake? At that intersection where everybody puts those signs up on,
we probably have to have the property owner's permission.
yeah. All
Which is not impossible to get, but, you know, just.
right, right.
All down with
We
the 61st
post
Street.